Today, I want to talk to all the students who will be getting me. I'll be sharing with you 7 things you should never do as a student. 7 things you should never ever think of doing as a student. So brace yourself. We are going in for something very, very big. Number one is don't cheat. Avoid cheating at all costs. Don't cheat. A student is not supposed to cheat. A student, if you are a student and that you are preparing for an exam or you are preparing to write other public or private exam, you need to avoid cheating at all costs, because cheating actually deprives you from real knowledge and it drains your energy. So as a student that aspire for success, as a student who know what it means to succeed by our own efforts, it's very important for you to understand that you need to avoid cheating at all costs. Avoid it. Even if other people are doing it, you don't have to be among those who are doing it. So real students avoid cheating. So one of the things you should do or avoid as a Christian, or should never do as a student, is cheating, because cheating is not good for students. Number two, things to avoid at all costs or should never do by student is don't insult your teachers. Don't insult your teachers. You see, it is very dangerous to insult those who actually give you the wisdom or who actually gives you the knowledge of what they know. When you insult your teacher, you put yourself at a disadvantage. You put yourself at a very close, very, very close disadvantage more than others. So avoid insulting your teachers at all costs as a student. A student should never ever insult the teacher. You need to appreciate your teachers. You need to thank your teachers. You need to be grateful to God for your teachers. That is what you have to do as a student. The more you are grateful, the more you are thankful, the more wisdom you get, the more understanding you get on the subject that those teachers actually teach you. So the number two thing never to do is don't insult your teachers. Number three thing never to do as a student, don't talk negative talks. Don't talk negative talks. You see, when you talk negative, because our words are actually very powerful, what you say will actually come to pass. What you talk will actually come to pass. So when you are talking, measure your words and avoid negative talks. Negative talks like, I don't think I'm going to pass my exam. I don't think I'm going to succeed. I don't think I'm intelligent. I don't think I have wisdom. Those are actually negative talks. So you need to avoid negative talks at all costs. You need to make sure that negative words never come out from your mouth. What you have to do is start confessing positive. Start talking talks like, I am a success. I am a victor. I'm going to succeed in all my papers. I'm going to succeed in all my exams. So start talking positive. Avoid, never, you should never ever talk negative talks as a student. Now, number fourth thing never ever to do as a student, don't think failure. Don't think failure. You see, a lot of students spend their time thinking about how things may go bad instead of thinking of how things may go good. There is actually a difference between thinking good and thinking bad. Most spend their time and energy to think about a negative. What if I don't succeed? What if I fail my exam? What will my parents say? What will my friends say? What if, what if? So why not just take that time and energy to think, I'm going to succeed. I am a success. I'm going to make it. So avoid thinking failures as a student. Start thinking victory. Start thinking success. Start thinking that you are able to make it, you're able to succeed as a student. Number 15, never to do as a student, don't study alone. Don't study alone. Don't be isolated. Don't be too isolated, right? At times you may study alone, but don't too much do it. Make sure that from time to time you associate with other students. Make sure that from time to time you study with other students, because when you study with others, you actually rub yourself on them and you are able to get their knowledge. Have you ever sit close to somebody that has a very strong perfume? When you sit closer enough, you are going to leave that place with that perfume on your body. We have had marriages that are broken out because the man went out and came with a different perfume. That is because he mingled himself with that type of person that was able to contaminate him. Or you can also sit closer to somebody that is smoking a cigarette and find yourself smelling cigarettes while you are not actually smoking. It's the same thing for all students. If you want to succeed, mingle with students that have the knowledge you don't need, students that understand more history, physics, mathematics, geography. Make sure you work with the best of students, because as you study with them, you gain the wisdom. So never ever, you should never ever, as a student, you should never be isolated too often, because isolation is very, very dangerous. Number 6 things never to do as a student: you should avoid waking up late. A lot of students have enjoy a lot of sleep and they wake up very, very late. If you cultivate the habit of waking up late, know that failure is going to hit at your door. For you to chase away failure from your house, from your home, from your hostel, from wherever you are lodging as a student, for you to chase away failure, you must make sure that you always wake up early. Avoid waking up late. You should never ever wake up late. If you have difficulties, make sure that you have an alarm clock with you, and make sure that your alarm clock is well set. And you will notice that the more you wake up at a certain period of time, the more you're going to get up at that certain time. No matter if you even if you sleep at late, you will still wake up at that time. So students should avoid at all costs. They should never ever sleep for long. Always avoid waking up late as a student if you want to be more productive. Last but not the least, the seventh in my list is avoid lazy students. You should never ever work with students that are lazy. You should never ever work with students that have no goals, that have no vision, that have no dreams. You should never work with students who don't want to study their book. You should never work with students who are not serious about their studies. Because if you mingle with such students, you find yourself walking through the path of failure. And most times, those students will actually drag you into drugs, or they'll drag you into other activities that does not favor your studies. So make sure that you work with those students that are productive, with those students that are able to encourage you when you're down, and who are able to talk you up. So avoid lazy students at all costs if you want to be productive as a student and get the result that you need in your life. So that is the 7 point in my list of the 7 things you should never do as a student if you really need the success.